72 Palestinians killed this Thursday in Gaza. Most were killed in Israeli strikes across the territory, but there were a further 21 people shot dead while trying to get desperately needed food aid for what has been designated as a food aid supply hub. The bullets fired by Israeli soldiers. Karis Garland with this.
Rushing to Shifa Hospital in Gaza's north, Palestinians transport those wounded in Israeli bombing. Witnesses said the strike hit tents sheltering displaced people near a market, killing multiple people, including women and children.
We were passing by Al Suzi Mosque at Al Shati refugee camp. A missile landed and next to it was a soup kitchen where young children were. We went looking for my niece. They said she was martyred. My niece is still missing and my other sister is missing as well.
The strike on Shati refugee camp was one of several reported across the Strip on Thursday, including ones hitting Jabalia and Khan Yunis. Meanwhile, local officials said more than 20 people were killed near aid distribution sites in southern and central Gaza. The Israeli army said troops had fired warning shots at suspects approaching them in the Netzarim area, but that it was not aware of any injured individuals. As the territory faces what the UN calls famine-like conditions, Palestinians say they have no choice but to collect aid to feed their families despite the dangers.
You either come back with food for your children and they are happy, you come back in a shroud, or you come back without food and your children cry. See? They are shooting randomly and we're by the sea.
According to Gaza's health ministry, more than 300 Palestinians have been killed while trying to reach aid distribution points. But the company handing out the supplies, GHF, has accused Gazan officials of regularly releasing inaccurate information.
The image is very much telling the story. Karis Garland there with the words. Let's bring in our guest, Alexandre Chatillon, director of the NGO Supernova. Now, it's an organisation that works to help children in conflict zones. Alexandre himself and his colleagues are working to help the children of the Gaza Strip. And thank you, sir, for coming in to talk to us about what you're doing. Can I ask you first, Alex, for a comment on what we've just seen? More people in the Gaza Strip being shot whilst trying to collect food.
It's absolutely a nightmare. That's the worst case scenario for any humanitarian. My job is to alleviate suffering in the most complicated countries in the world, in the most complicated situation in the world. I have to say that I have never seen something like this, where aid has been deliberately engineered in a way to attract population into a small portion of territory so that most likely Israel can keep the rest, the north, for themselves and be killed while getting food. And they are being killed deliberately by forces that most likely belong to Israel. So that's the worst scenario that can happen in Gaza.
You've been very diplomatic with the language. Some would say it is Israeli soldiers doing the shooting. I will add, from their perspective, they say that people are approaching, they've fired shots and inquiries underway. But I think if you look through those words, you see the fact that bullets are being fired. Who's got the bullets? It's the Israeli soldiers. The Palestinians are being killed. And it's something like 400 people have been killed trying to seek food. How on earth is this happening? How can it happen?
I think we will all be judged by history as in people who had access to this information and being liable for not doing anything. We're trying, though, but really the history will judge upon us for that. I don't know how this is happening. I don't know how the United States democracy can really stand by the side of Netanyahu to authorize that. So indeed, it is either the Israeli themselves or this private security company that was hired and funded to supposedly support the distribution of aid. Whoever does this, the result is always the same. 400 people died. We only have 30 trucks entering the Gaza Strip on a daily basis to feed 2 million people. It's just simply not sustainable on the long run. And that is obviously designed to kill people.
This is the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, set up to kind of replace, I say kind of because it is only kind of replace the work that the UN through UNRWA was doing, United Nations Relief and Works Agency. I'm wondering where you fit in to the whole equation here, because clearly many children are being killed, many people without parents, without schools, without any kind of structure to their lives now. How can you and your colleagues work in such chaos to help these children?
That's a very interesting question. Indeed, there's mistrust, that's the least we could say, between Israel and now the US toward the UN system. So now the money and aid is not channeled through the usual way, which is usually the UN and international NGOs. It goes through this GHA foundation, which is very weird, which is very fishy, that has been under inquiry by the Swiss government because it is located in HQ'd in Switzerland. Having said that, our job is to empower kids, to allow them to go back to school. So one could say, but why are you doing this while people are killed? It's because we want to provide hope to new generations. If we stop providing education to kids, what will they become in the next generations? So the way we do it is we do it with Palestinian organization. Locally, we have set up temporary learning spaces, which is wording in our industry, but I mean schools under shelters, literally shelters, with teachers that we pay on a daily basis so that they could welcome kids. We're talking about class between 50 to 75 people, and through a partnership with World Food Kitchen, we're feeding these kids 1 meal a day at least. So we're touching 1,000 kids, and we have 150 teachers on our payroll. So this is how we do things, locally, providing local solutions to the best of our ability.
And every child that you reach in this way, you're providing them with a different message about what life can offer and about what the world can offer them too.
Of course.
And this, of course, might help to combat those negative messages that they're already picking up because of their actual life experience.
Totally. The message we convey is that there's a future ahead, and it's far from battles, far from weapons, and this is of utmost importance. We do it with the kids, but we also have a psychological support program for people in camps, where we have psychologists touring the different camps in the Gaza Strip to start breaking this vicious circle of violence, try to prepare people not to take up weapons against people, but try to rebuild once it's possible. It's difficult, but it's really the only way forward.
It's essential work, Alex. I'm getting that very, very clearly, but it's also dangerous work. And people listening to what you're saying will be wondering about the chances that you take, the chances that your colleagues are taking, how much risk you're putting yourselves at.
It is the most risky working environment I've been working in. And we are present in Sudan, we're present in Libya, in Yemen. It is by far the most dangerous places I've ever been. So just for people to know that when a humanitarian actor is like everyone else in the Gaza Strip, same level than any Palestinian, any Gazan national. So we're there, we are open to be killed. So I was in over the house of our office last time I went, and we saw missiles over the house, just landed a couple of 100 meters away, which is very close. So it is very dangerous. It is also very difficult because, of course, Israel makes it impossible to operate. It's also the lack of funding. We are struggling as humanitarian actors to get fundings for Gaza because access has been difficult and fundings are reduced. We all know that the Americans have cut their development assistance funding, and it's difficult. So we are launching, like everybody else, a donation campaign. So if anyone wants to give for Gaza, give to whoever, whatever cause you feel like giving, like Action Against Hunger, like Supernova, but give so that we could help more people.
Alex, the message is clear and the work you're doing is essential and it's brave, and thank you for coming in here and sharing with us and with everybody watching the extent of what you're doing and how you're trying to help the children of the conflict zones, and especially as we've been focusing in this segment on the Gaza Strip. Alexandre Chatillon of Super-Novae, the NGO helping children in conflict zones, and as Alex was saying, especially right now in the Gaza Strip. Thank you, sir, very much for coming to see us here at France 24. We appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you very much.